Peter Murphy joins us right now, and I guess this is our annual WARPA interview, huh?
It is, Con. How you going?
And now we got a whole group behind us. Look at this. Oh, no. Now we got a whole group right around us.
No, it's all good.
You know.
I got told this is Sean in the Dirt after dark.
Oh. I'm going to have to get this photo from her so we can post this with this podcast.
We should. Just like this.
Let's talk about 2023. How did it go up at Skagit Speedway? No, I was up there for a couple of your big events. Bert kept me kind of busy down south, but I was able to come to some of your big events like Dirt Cup and World of Outlaws and Survive the 55. So I saw those events. But how would you say 2023 was at Skagit Speedway?
Honestly, I think it was pretty successful. Our numbers in audience, crowd-wise, it grew this year from last year. And last year was a good year, apparently. Like it was our first year but just going off what people have, worked there for a couple of years, and they say, it was good. And then this year was everything we did was better. So, but we did things in a different way. With how we advertised this year was a little bit different, So it seemed we get new people that, and we can tell with the QR code, we can tell where people get their tickets from. So you could tell where things was happening. Just when you have more information, you can understand how the world's working just that little bit more, locally anyway. So it was really good. I think we had a good year.
Now, the billboard thing, was that new to this year? Did you do the billboards last year on the TV? That was new to this year. And I think you guys saw, I know we saw we saw more, you just saw more people.
Because of the, I don't know if you realize this, like Seattle traffic and heading up to our place isn't like, it's not really that flash, There's a lot of times where they have to pull over and stop. So, fortunately, there's so many of them things along the side of the road. I think we're on 5 of them. So it just seemed to work out well. Again, it was just different, and it's just right there. So why not use it? So it worked out very well. It was John's idea. He's a very big part. Obviously, he's part owner of the place as well. And it really kicked a goal. This year we stayed on radio. But instead of just being like, and no offense to you and your pronunciation, but we put an Australian on there, and just because he sounds just that little bit different, it just captures your attention just that little bit, So it was just things like that, and it was just good. It was good, but there was more new people there this year, and these are facts that we could tell from our QR codes and all that kind of stuff. So.
And I think it probably made a big difference that you had more stability going into the year than you did the first year, because there was a little bit of turmoil, I guess. I don't know if you would say there was, but we kind of thought that who was running the show, what was going on, there was a little bit going on. So I think it helps that you had the same group ending the year before that started this year, right? I think that helps.
It definitely was a good thing. And not that we thought there was any turmoil. We just kind of rolled with how it always had been, and we could learn this. Our first year was a learning thing. We're going to learn every year. We're not done learning, but it just worked out to be the fact that by the end of the year, the next year we started doing things more our way, not just letting it go as it was. So we just changed, again, little things. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. All we're trying to do is adjust a few spokes.
You and I talked, and you talked about putting things in the infield, and everyone's like, oh, you're going to move it all there. And I think you've found a good balance where you bring in the sprint cars and you go right from hot laps right to qualifying, and then, you have a good balance, I think, in that. And you figure that out.
Yeah, that's a really good thing. Again, you've got to have this, it's got to be a 50-50 split with these things, because you can't just go back to what it was, because, there was a reason why they stopped doing it. So. Yep. So we just got to, and it works out well, and the fans love it. Like it's so much entertainment, there's so much atmosphere just because they're in there. But this year, one of the things we've done, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but because we have our scales in the middle after the sprint cars are done, or modifiers or whatever, they go across the scales in the middle, and then we got the red and the green light on there. And if they're good, like the crowd sees if they're gonna, the guy's red is like, oh mate, sorry mate, but you got to go back, But it's but pretty much it's always been green. But so this year, and then we pull them up on the front straightaway. But this year, for example, like if Trey Starks wins, he goes across the scale, he gets a green light. Our quad or side by side will push him all the way down the front straight, push him out of the turn one where they leave, but then spin it around, and it'll come up between the two fences, between the grandstand and the actual race fence. We just got some concreting done. We're recreating the flag stand, making it a little bit tougher, a little bit stronger, and we put new stairs and new concrete all around there. And our podium area is going to be. Look, we did it there last year, and it was, you had to wait for the guys to get out and walk up. Now the winner's going to be pushed up there, and he's going to get out in front of all the kids and everything. Like, there's going to be a fence there, but he gets out and he gets to. You get to be a part of it. You get to see the excitement. Like, otherwise, just like it's tape delayed, So, but now it's going to be there, and everything's going to be right there. So just trying to change it a little bit more, because we need to have more interaction with the fans and our drivers, because our drivers are the stars.
And that's cool, because I have trouble with my, I used to do interviews down front when Steve was there, but then when you guys did it, it was hard for me because they never went back down. It was hard for me to get it, and then they wanted to leave right away. So maybe I can go down there and get them right there, right after they're done with the other interview. So that might even be easier for me on a podcast level. So that'll be awesome.
And when we do we have a dash or something, or and we get the honorary Pickering members. The kids get to be and if they got driver wins, they get So it's just they get a trophy or whatever. It's just they're part of the team. We just need to sell our drivers, and it doesn't matter whether it's a 410 sprint car driver, whether it's right down to a Hornet. These people are important, and we have to just sell them, because they are stars and they are our gladiators. And that's how we need to sell them. As they work their ass off, and they run really good.
So so I know there's obviously the big announcement that came with the high limits coming to Skagit Speedway, and looks like, we don't know about Outlaws yet. We'll wait for you guys to announce that. We don't have any announcements on that, so we'll wait for you guys to get your schedule out, and we'll look at that when that is. So I won't even ask that. But high limit is coming, so that is a big change for the fans.
Right now, that is a fact. So we'll just see how it all plays out. I think they have the right people behind them, the high limits deal. Brad and Kyle obviously running the show.
Yep.
So you got pretty big names, running the deal anyway. But with Flo being behind it and so much support, I think this year's going to be interesting for everyone in the country, not just our place. But if anyone's going to succeed, I do believe this place probably will succeed, the high limits. I don't think it's going to be what everyone expects it to be this year, but I think if it just keeps going forward, it will get better, and it will be, a good thing. It's just more chances for more people to make money. That's what we're hoping for. So. Yep.
And then, are we bringing back the Survive to 55 again? Is there any big?
Yes. I can tell you. Actually, I got a really big secret about that, and it's not about the modifieds, unfortunately. But yes, the Survive to 55 will be back, and they will run their Friday and their Saturday nights. Maybe I can't tell you yet. Maybe I'll just keep it for a second about what else I'm going to do there. But normally the last year was a bugger of a year because it rained, and we had to all squeeze it into one night, which it worked out. But
you got it in, and we had it was hard for traveling. Seemed a little bit down, but I think it was because they were iffy on the weather.
The weather plays a big part of everything up here, but again, Mel Decker's gone out of his way to do so much, but then also Skagit Aggregate. They're a big part of, obviously, Skagit, the community, with everything they do, but then they stepped up even more than they did the year before. So there's a following of the modifieds, and there's a following of, this particular race, and we couldn't be prouder to have them as a partner of ours, Skagit Aggregate, so that's going good. But we're just going to change the modifieds are probably going to stay exactly the way it is with everything that they're doing. But we do have a surprise coming, and I'll wait till January.
Okay.
But it's going to be a deal to where it's going to make Saturday night interesting.
Okay.
So.
Well, we'll keep tuned on the Skagit Speedway. Your group does a great job there. I know Lisa's a big part of that there, and you guys do a great job with the social media. We'll keep our eyes on it, and maybe we'll have to get you back on to do a little bit more if we need to.
Anytime, mate. Anytime we can do whatever, and just go down that road. Yeah.
Yeah. So is there any other changes or anything? That's pretty cool. That's news that we haven't heard yet about the fence and them coming right up to the crowd. I think people find that interesting. Any other cool changes or anything else we'd want to talk about?
The biggest thing I can say is hopefully jumbotron works a little bit better than it did last year.
It's hard when you don't have a full video. It's tough.
It's what we would call at home a bit of a bugger, but it's the people they're trying to do something, but it's just not.
And you're signed up again for Skagit Speedway for next year, right? I know there's always those rumors that float around that Peter Murphy's leaving.
There's always rumors, but the fact I am a partner of the place. There's 3 people involved in it, and I am one of those people. So I got no reason to go anywhere. Not yet.
You're still doing Hanford too?
Yeah, that's the plan right now. So
I know you had some water. I know you had some water stuff down there, but I know Bert was kind of talking to you, and then he was kind of telling me that you were having a bugger with the problem with the water down there. So I'm glad you guys got that race in and got that all taken care of. So
it was just a well issue, but again. And if you knew the whole story, you'd understand everything. But what we can say is, when I was in high school that was like 1,000 years ago, I was okay in class. I was at the pointy end, but you got down the line there. It says easily misled in class. I'm still easily misled with some things. So that was the problem there. Obviously it was my choice, and it did fail. But I cop it on the chin. It's okay.
And everything worked out. You guys got the race in the next couple weeks later, and it all worked out. So it's all good. So you're back at Skagit. We're looking for another great year, and I appreciate your time like always. And your track, just like Grace Harbor, Deming, all those tracks are very important to us, and to have successful. And you guys are, I got to give you guys credit. I know Kevin's a big part of it, but you guys have dumped a ton of capital into that place, and dumped a lot of prize money into that place. And the amount of money, my buddy Brandon gave away the driver of the year to Jared. He's a good friend of mine, and he was giving me all these stats on how much money you guys. I think he kept track, and he kept track, or I don't know how, but he was giving me all the rundown, and just the amount is pretty crazy. So good job. Congratulations to you guys up there, and I hope to be up there with the times that I can get up there.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. We just the poor old girl. She's going to be 70 years old next year, so it'll be a good year one way or another. We're going to make things a little bit different in different ways, but we got to celebrate the old girl and give her a birthday, and looking forward from 70 to 75.
All right. Well, thanks for the time.
No worries, mate. Cheers.
This is Sean, and you're in the dirt.